showtime.
Here's what people have to say about the 2025 event cruise.
Over the top.
Fantastic.
Fun.
One of a kind.
Exciting.
A must try.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Breakthrough.
Don't miss out on all the fun on the 2026 event cruise. You're not going to want to miss it. Join us. Well, there you go, everybody. Hello, welcome to the show. We're going to start the news here in just a minute. If you're new to the channel, we record our weekly podcast. We do it here live because we're going to have you guys participate and ask questions and put in your input into the news of the week here in the cruise industry. That's why we do it live. So we're going to start the recording for the podcast and get to the news here in just a second. Before we do that, we just love to say hello to everybody. So, Mama Tallman, good to see you. It's been a while. You've missed a couple.
Yeah.
Heidi Ho, Jan McElveen. John, good to see you as always. Bev, hello to you as well. Good to see you. Hello, Tuesday. It is Sunday. Alex, how are you doing? And Danny says, breakthrough. So thank you all for being with us. Thank you all for the thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please hit that thumbs up button. It really does help. And if you haven't subscribed already, again, please consider doing that as well. Okay? So that being said, let's get ready and start the podcast recording. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome to Cruise News, the live show podcast with Tall Man's Cruise Adventures. If you are new around here, I am your host, Robert, aka The Tall Man. This is my lovely wife, Lisa, aka Mrs. Tall Man. Not that anyone ever calls her that. We are coming to you live right now from Tall Man Mobile somewhere here in Tennessee, and we are going to be talking about the cruise news as it's happening this week, ending March 15th, 2026. We hope you all had a fantastic week and getting ready for a new week. I know there's lots of weather out there. Hopefully everybody's being safe. I know we are about to get a little bit of snow ourselves here in Tennessee, so we hope you guys are well. That being said, without further ado, housekeeping notes. We do this live so you can put in your input, if you will, into the news of the day. So if you have a comment about one of the subjects we're talking about, please, if you're live with us, leave it in the chat. If you're watching the rebroadcast of this or listening to the rebroadcast of this, one of the two, you can leave a comment because we do answer all our comments because we'd like to know how you feel about some of the subjects going on in the news. And in fact, one of the biggest stories this week we're going to talk about just in a couple minutes, but it has potential widespread effect in the industry. It is absolutely huge. I'm not sure how. We'll talk about that in a minute because there's a few things that we want to get to first. Okay, that being said, first, an update on the Middle East. There have been no further updates from the cruise lines of how many more passengers they've been able to get off the ships that are stuck in the Middle East. If you've had your head in the sands and don't know, because of what is going on over there with Iran, there are 6 ships that are stuck in ports with the passengers on them that were on there when this all started in February. So it's the MSC Eurybia, 2-week cruises, the Mein Schiff 4 and 5, Celestial Cruises, the Celestial Journey and Discovery, and Arroyo Cruises, the Arroyo Manara. As of last week's update, they had started to be able to get some of the passengers off, and at that time, about 1,500 had been flown home. There have been no further updates on those ships. But further news that the Ida Prima and Costa Esmeralda have announced that they've canceled their winter sailings for the Middle East market. So if you were on either the Ida Prima or the Costa Esmeralda on one of those Middle East sailings this winter, those have been 100% canceled. They're going to be putting the ship somewhere else. Obviously, the repositioning cruises from where they were going to the Middle East have also obviously been canceled.
Yes.
I know, I can't remember which one of the ships has already announced where it's going to be repositioned to. The other one has not. So we'll leave it up for them for the next press release to come out about all that stuff. Okay.
Yep.
So there is your update about the ships in the Middle East.
Yep. So it's an ever-changing situation. So, stay
Stay
tuned.
tuned. We'll talk about it here.
Yes, we will.
All right. First story that I want to talk about in the news this week actually is Portland, Maine. Been there many times. I'm originally from Massachusetts. We spent a lot of time up in Maine. And they have decided they're going to be raising taxes
Really?
on cruise ship visitors.
Really?
Yeah, like $10.
Wow.
It's a combination of port tariffs and infrastructure fees.
Okay.
Now, these are going to start in 2027, so not for the rest of this year.
Okay.
But, and over the course of 3 years, from 2027 through 2030, it's going up $10 total.
Okay.
So
like in increments?
correct.
Okay.
Right now, it's essentially $20 per passenger. It's now going to be $30 per passenger.
By the end of 3030.
By the beginning of 3030.
By the beginning of 3030.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So it'll go
Okay.
up maybe, I don't know. They didn't say exactly how much, but let's just say it's going to go up $3.33 a piece. So for those
Alrighty.
wanting to take a cruise up there into Maine, because currently they get about 100 ships a year.
Do they really?
Yep. And a lot of the fees are going to be going to actually upgrading the port because they don't have shore power there.
Gotcha.
And that's a big thing with the ships with shore power is
It is.
they have to leave the ships running when they're not connected, right?
Yeah, that's
Which-
definitely something everybody's moving towards.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so they're going to install shore power so when the ships do arrive, they can turn the ship off so they're not creating all that extra pollution. Obviously, all the newer ships are LNG that don't have almost no pollution. They still have a little bit, but almost none because the LNG is a very clean burning fuel. But those are the big ships. The big ships can't make it into Portland, Maine. It's all the little ships. And of course, they're burning the HFO or the heavy fuel oils. So
Gotcha.
anyway, so yeah, Portland going to be raising their taxes. So there you go. There is that. Second in the news, Carnival. We're going to talk about Carnival a lot here. But Carnival has 3 cruises coming up that they have decided to cancel platinum perks.
What?
Yep. The diamonds aren't going to be affected, but the platinums are.
Well,
So if you're sailing, excuse me, you'll already be on this one. The Carnival Spirit that left yesterday on 3/14. That's being effective. So all the platinums on that ship no longer have your emerald perks. The Carnival Legend on 3/16 and the Carnival Dream on 3/21.
oh my.
Now, 2 of those ships are considered the Carnival's Journeys cruises because they're more than 9 days.
Yes.
But the Spirit is not. It's just out of, I think, Mobile, Alabama. It's doing an 8-night.
Gotcha.
But they have such a large number of platinums, they're having to do away with the platinum benefits. So priority embarkation, debarkation, being able to get to your cabin right when you're bored, you can't do that. And I think there's a few other things, like if you have to go to customer service, there's not going to be a dedicated line for that. You're not going to be part of the Diamond Platinum line. It's just going to be the Diamond line, and you're going to have to go stand in line with everybody else.
I've seen a lot of those posted pictures of the guest services posted on Facebook, where people are standing in line. They used to have the platinum and diamond together, and now it's not. It's just diamond and then platinum, gold, and yeah, they're separated now.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, I've never understood that. Right? I mean, it doesn't cost them money. Priority luggage delivery.
Was
That's
that the
also
other
gone.
one?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, that makes sense, right? Because there's so many, they just don't have enough people to make the luggage there.
Okay.
But allowing people to go to the cabin and drop off their luggage and leave, I don't know how that affects anybody. I just don't. Because there's not a dollar amount there. I think we've talked about this before. It just doesn't comprehend. Same thing with the priority embarkation debarkation part, right? So, and I know there's a lot of people, which is why they cancel, but they're still on the ship anyway, right? So they're still going to want to get on, and they're still going to want to get off.
Right.
And so that just means you have to expand the time slots to allow for the embarkation debarkation process. Now, the only thing that would affect that would be people who have shore excursions purchased through the cruise line that need to get off the ship at a certain time. They would have to take priority, but I don't know. What do you guys think of them canceling? Does that make sense to you guys, since it's not costing them anything? I don't know.
I think they're just trying to get us used to not having those benefits.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
They're going away anyway, so might as well get rid of them now.
Yes. Well,
Oh my.
here is the big news, and this was in our thumbnail, and I'm going to do my best to explain this for you guys to understand how huge this is going to be potentially for the cruise industry. And it's starting off with Carnival, because they're at the forefront of this news story. But this has far-reaching impact for the entire cruise industry. In fact, this is so important, we're going to do a special video, hopefully, and get it released later this week on just this subject. But we did want to touch it here. So, recently, one of the Carnival ships that is docked in Australia full-time denied access to some of the Australian officials who are wanting to gain access to the ship to do some inspections. Now, this was the Carnival Adventure, okay? This used to be one of the P&O ships that has been, right, absorbed into the Carnival line and renamed the Carnival Adventure, okay? Now, let me try to explain this. Oh, Lisa, what?
Hey.
Why did you get so big?
I don't know. There I am.
There you go. I got to lock that screen so I don't do that ever again. If I lock it, I can't put up comments. Sorry. Okay. So, the background for this story is simply this. Most people know cruise ships are flagged typically under what is called, oh, God, what's the exact phrase? A flag of convenience.
Okay.
They have them registered in either like the Bahamas or Panama or Bermuda. Those are countries whose laws for ships and maritime stuff are very liberal. Okay? So the ships are registered, or if you will, sort of owned, if you will, by these flags of state or flags of convenience. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Now, it's because of that the rules and laws that govern the ship, meaning the employees pay, what they get paid, the hours they can work, all these different things are governed by those countries.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah, the laws of the country that has flagged the ship. Yes.
Countries of convenience or states of
Yes.
convenience, if you will.
Yes.
Okay. And those wages are typically very low,
Yes.
right? And that's why gratuities come into play when we pay gratuities online.
Yes.
Okay. So the argument that is happening right now is that this Carnival ship lives, if you will, full-time in Australia.
Yes.
So it is in Australia's waters
Full time.
full time.
Yes.
Starts and stops, same place, every single week. Therefore, the Safe Work NSW and Marine Union of Australia are petitioning that it's no longer an international vessel. It's within the territorial waters of Australia.
Okay.
And because they're within the territorial waters of Australia, they should be governed by Australian labor laws.
Gotcha.
So they've tried to board the ship, and Carnival blocked it and denied their boarding.
Gotcha.
So this has created a big
hubbub.
hubbub.
Yeah.
Okay. Now there is a third party involved in all of this. We're not going to talk about them because they're more of an international union.
Okay.
Because there's federal, there's state. It is a very complicated mess. It really is, which is why we're going to do a completely separate video on this. But the impact on this is simply this. There's going to be a lawsuit. This is going to continue to escalate. And Carnival's going to be at the forefront of this. Now, fortunately, they're a very large organization. They got fairly deep pockets and they got pretty good attorneys. Thank the Lord in this particular case. Because these agencies, to include the union, are going to fight them on this. But here's the impact. Every single cruise that goes out every single day around the world starts and stops from a port. But depending on the length of the cruise, they're going to visit another country.
Yes.
Which means they're going to be inside that country's waters.
Yes.
Right? Essentially, for those who don't know, international waters don't start until you get 2 miles off the coast of a country.
Correct.
Sometimes it's a little bit more, but generally
Yeah,
2 miles
generally
off the
2 miles.
coast.
Yes.
So the potential impacts here are simply this. If this goes to court in Australia, and the union and this other
The state.
the state, not the federal,
Okay.
but the Safe Work NSW.
Yes.
So the Safe Work NSW and Marine Union, if they win this lawsuit, it is going to set a precedence in the cruise industry for every single other country to also implement lawsuits.
Gotcha.
And what that is going to mean for us, the people who like to cruise, it's going to raise the cost of cruises astronomically. I mean, think about this. The average is somewhere, believe it or not, around $2.50 an hour. It is a very low wage.
It is very low.
This is why the gratuities are so big for them.
Yes.
This is why if you pay them cash, they're so happy because it's cash that goes directly to them.
Yes.
It's not like the gratuity. The gratuities you pay automatically get split up with a lot of people. Cash you hand them is cash you hand them, which is why they're so appreciative of that.
Of course.
But imagine if every cruise line pulling into a country had to adhere to the labor laws of that country.
That's going to be a nightmare.
So it goes from $2.50 maybe to $10, $12, $14, $15 an hour.
Well, I'm thinking, how do you even track that? I mean, how many countries do you visit when you're on a ship? Many.
Yeah, well, I mean, exactly. At least one.
And if you have to, every time you pull into a port, abide by their labor laws, that's going to be a nightmare to figure out.
It's going to be a logistical nightmare.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Plus, from the financial end of things, the cruise lines are obviously not going to absorb the cost, right?
They're going to pass that along.
They're going to pass it right on to us.
Well, of course.
And so the cost of a cabin, I mean, it literally, I can't venture to say what it be, but it would probably quadruple.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they're paying $250 now and it's got to go to 10, that's 4 times the amount.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there's a few other things involved in your cost of a cabin, the food you eat and all that stuff.
Well, of course.
But a lot of it is about the labor they're paying on the ship.
Yes.
And that's just not the cabin stewards and the restaurant staff. It's also about officers and everybody else.
Right.
I mean, everybody's sort of paid appropriately based upon the laws of where the ship is registered.
Right.
And so I don't know, guys. We really want to know what you think about this story, and if you truly understand the implications of what this could do to the industry.
Yeah. And again, I know you said that you want to do a video on this that goes more in depth and explains
Yes.
it, because we're just barely touching the surface on this. There's a lot
A
lot involved in this.
and the reality really simply is both sides actually have a valid argument.
Agreed.
They do.
Yeah.
But cruise ships are governed by the laws of the countries they're flagged and international maritime law.
Yeah.
Okay? When you pull into a port, you are still governed by those laws. Now, in Australia, and like in every other country, let's see if I can find the name of there's a sub law that is in place that allows them to continue operating under international maritime law, even though they're no longer in international water. And I can't for the life of me remember. I'm just scrolling through to see if I can find it. But, oh, by the way, the other agency they don't have problems with is called the Australian Maritime Safety Authority. They adhere to and look into the international maritime law.
Yes.
So those guys board ships all the time.
Yeah.
Not just Carnival, but all ships.
Yeah.
Because they're there to inspect for the international maritime law,
Well,
not
and
local.
That's been what's been, adhered to forever, it seems like.
Correct.
Is the international maritime law. But yeah, it's the fact that the ship is now based in Australia that is bringing all of this up.
And always based in Australia,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So that to me, I don't know if the workaround is, well, that no longer can stay there full time.
Gotcha.
It has to move around some.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at, Pride of America. They're flagged with U.S. and they follow the U.S. labor laws because they don't go anywhere outside of Hawaii. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing.
Yes.
Interesting thing.
It isn't. I can't find the name of that other law real quick. I'm sorry. But all countries have the same thing.
Yeah.
That allow them to continue operating under international law, even though they're now in territorial waters, if you will. So, yeah, guys, what do you guys think about all this? We want to hear your opinion here.
Yeah.
Hey, Roderick, how you doing? Good evening, Gina. Alex said I visited Portland, Maine a few years ago with MSE. Awesome.
Nice.
Best time to visit. Guest services either in the morning or late at night. Yep. Alex, good to see you. The Star Wars Dad. Hey there, buddy. Good to see you.
Hi.
You're new to the channel.
Yeah.
Welcome. Never seen you here before. He's from Florida. The Star Wars Dad.
Nice.
Danny says Carnival will just stop the full-time cruising in Australia. Then we will hear Australia begging for them to come back. So, but again, Danny, this is opening up a can of worms that you just cannot control.
Yeah.
If there's a lawsuit and Australia wins, that means all the rest of these countries are going to start lining up and either suing the cruise industry or changing their laws, forcing the cruise lines to pay their employees under local standards when they're in port.
Rather than the international. Yeah.
The home port thing is only one part of the equation.
Yeah.
The other part is when they're in port. It's not that they're 100% home ported there. It's when they're in port. The minute they're 2 miles out at sea, they're no longer in territorial waters. International laws take over. It's the minute they come within territorial waters. So if there's a lawsuit and the Australian Union and NSW win, every other country is just going to start lining up. And that's a potential catastrophe. It really could be a disaster.
Yeah, that's just a strategic nightmare. It
Yeah.
really is.
Bev says, wonder if it would fall somewhere between standard minimum wage and server's wage, which usually is less because of tips. I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. Hello, Carol. How are you? Good to see you.
Definitely something we want to pay attention to, though.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Alex, they might now just not have a home port and rotate around. Again, that's only one part of a multi-parceled problem. even if they home port somewhere else, if the ship docks in Australia, the wages have to change. And this is part of where the logistical nightmare comes because
Yes.
they're going to, I mean, your pay stub would be 14 pages long because
Right.
you're going to pay this rate from this hour to this hour, this rate from this hour to this hour, this rate from this hour to this hour, and then every port you go to is going to have a different set of rates.
I
and
can't even imagine
No.
trying to figure that out.
No, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Star Wars Dad says U.S. law needs to change. Maritime law in the U.S. doesn't allow for cruises to nowhere. That is correct. You have to touch foreign soil at least once. I think that would be a good change. I never. I would love a cruise to nowhere.
We would
just
we
go
wouldn't
out,
mind that at all.
right? Sail around for for days and come because we love days at sea.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people don't though.
That's true.
A lot of people want to go somewhere. And we like to go places too, don't get us wrong, but we also enjoy sea days, especially if it's just we want to hop on something quick out of Florida because we are based typically out of Florida, even though right now we're in Tennessee. We've been to all the Caribbean islands so many times. So a lot of times we don't even get off the ship. So, but anyway.
So just sailing around and a cruise to nowhere would be totally fine with us.
Gina wants to know, would that include ships that go to different countries or just ships that stay? So it would start there. But like I'm saying, this is the can of worms. Here's the biggest analogy that I can come up with. Everybody remembered the person who sued McDonald's because of the hot cup of coffee?
Oh, yes.
This was a landmark case.
Yes.
And once that person won those millions of dollars, everyone else with a similar kind of sort of crazy sort of idea starts suing.
Yes.
Okay? So first it would start with Australia. And then all of a sudden it's other countries are just going to start lining up. And before you know it, every country that a cruise ship goes to is going to have a different set of laws to adhere to.
Right.
It's going to be international law when you're sailing, but as you approach the shore with 2 miles of a country, you're then going to have to start paying them whatever the laws are there.
Which is why I think the international laws exist, is
Correct.
because of the logistical nightmare.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
It'll be interesting to see what happens. We definitely want to stay on top of this one.
I agree.
Yeah.
Danny says, keep in mind, if they get sued, it will be in Australia courts. The countries hopefully will see the economic impact of not suing. I hope so. I really, really do.
Yeah.
But you just, he was talking about the benefit, not impact. Correct, because there's a huge economic benefit.
Without a doubt, yeah.
And there's a reason why that ship is there full time. It's the same reason why the Pride of America for NCL is full time in Australia. You just can't get there from here.
Right.
Right. So it's one thing with ships out of the U.S. that sail down to the Bermuda, the Bahamas, or the Caribbean. They're able to get down there and back in average 7 days. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if it's a ship out of Florida, they can do the Bahamas and back in 3 or 4 days. Mm-hmm. But you can't get to Hawaii in 3 days.
No, you definitely can't.
It's literally 5 days of sailing to get to Hawaii.
Even if you leave from California, you're not going to get to Hawaii in 3 days.
It's 5 days of sailing to get to Hawaii, and then 5 days back.
Yes.
Right? So it's going to be a much longer cruise.
Without a doubt, yeah.
So NCL was sort of thinking far ahead of that. But that ship is flagged under U.S. guidelines.
Yes.
But it's always there. So that could mean that if Carnival wants to keep a ship there, if there's a lawsuit and they sue, that it has to stay there full time.
Maybe.
Again, there's another potential side impact.
Yes.
So instead of ships being able to be repositioned, this, that, or whatever, ships may end up all now having to be registered and licensed in the country that they're at, and they have to stay there.
Yeah, that's possible.
I mean, there's a potential outcome here. That's the can of worms I'm talking about. It's not just this one ship. It's going to go across the industry. If Australia sues, or at least these agencies within Australia, and they win, it could be a very devastating thing for the cruise industry and how it's going to react and how the rest of the countries around the world will react. Well, wait a minute. Well, we could get them flagged here. That means we could make more money, right? Because that's what they're thinking. These unions and stuff is they can make more money. Anyway, I just, it worries me a lot.
Yeah.
So anyway, Alex says the reasons U.S. doesn't allow to sail to nowhere is due to Adams Act. which also requires U.S. ships to be built in the U.S. Yes, but this goes back many, 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 many years. I remember reading up on this a long time ago, and I can't remember the reason, but it had to do with economics of the shipbuilders themselves. I just don't remember what it was. Anyway, Star Wars says they live in Panama City, own an apartment there in Cocoa Beach. We cruise at least 3 times a year. Mobile is close to our apartment. Excellent. And Cocoa means Port Canaveral's right there. Yeah, absolutely.
We love sailing out of Port Canaveral.
Yeah, Port Canaveral is our favorite port.
It is, yeah.
And obviously many others now, since it's the busiest cruise port in the world.
Yes.
Alex says the cruise lines can't raise the price too high. Demand/supply will be impacted. Right? So that is part of this equation. That is why this could be such a disastrous thing. Obviously, the union, the NSW, and the authorities in Australia trying to board and all this stuff, they're not thinking big picture.
Right.
They're thinking, what can we do to get these people that are here these, better wages, right? But from an impact standpoint, that is going to mean, again, if that, I'm telling you, the cost of a cruise is going to go through the roof if that can of worms is opened.
Yeah.
And yes, it's going to create some problems because, who can afford $4,000 per passenger for a 7-day cruise on a Carnival ship? I'm not talking about suites. I'm talking about an inside cabin. Right. I mean, I'm being facetious. I don't know what it would be, but the cost would go up dramatically. It would not be a little. It would be dramatically because the wages would at least quadruple, which means the cabin costs are going to quadruple, right? Because it's just going to get passed off to us.
Well, definitely going to keep our eyes on this one.
Jen says, go across the industry, trickle down to impact the passengers with higher fees. Yeah, eventually pricing out the average person being able to sell. Exactly, right? And right now, the industry, it's about volume. I mean, the ships are bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, 7,500 passengers you can squeeze onto an Icon class ship, right? How many passengers are going to be able to afford those fees if they're 4 times higher than they are now? Again, there hasn't been documentation of what fees would be. I'm just generalizing. If the wages are $2.50 and they force them up to a minimum of, say, $10, that's 4 times the amount.
Right.
So I'm guessing, right? Because who knows what it's going to be? Who knows what it's going to be? Star Wars Ed says, we used to love Royal, but their nickel and diming has become ridiculous. It costs less now to sail on luxury brands than Royal. Yeah, we understand that too.
We totally get that. Yeah.
Yep.
We talk frequently about nickel and diming.
We do. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, my friend. You're going to love hanging out here with us. All right.
Yes.
So I think that is enough about the story. Like I said, we're going to put out a detailed video, hopefully by the end of this week, that truly explains everything out in a little bit more detail.
A little more organized.
And a little bit more organized so that you can understand all the little pieces and how they plug in.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty big story.
It is. It really is. It has, huge implications of things that could happen, possibly.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Macrina, this is for you. Wash your nasty hands. The Star Princess, which is the newest ship for Princess, just came out not so long ago, has had their first bout ever with a norovirus.
Oh, my.
So, like 3-point-something% of the crew plus passengers have come down with the norovirus.
Oh, no.
Yeah, 2.4% of the passengers and 3.1% of the crew.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
Macrina, we love you forever for saying that, because...
Wash your nasty hands. Wash your nasty hands. We have a whole video special about norovirus for those who don't know.
Yep.
In short, norovirus is contracted because someone didn't wash their hands after using the bathroom. And then they went and touched something.
And it is not limited to cruise ships.
And then you went and touched the same thing they touched. That is how you get norovirus. Now, and the fact is, even though we end up having to talk about it a lot, usually weekly, these days, like this time of year,
Yes.
the least likely place in the world actually to get norovirus is a ship.
Yeah.
But ships are so highly regulated, each outbreak is, or each incident, I won't call it outbreak, but each time it is reported, and those reports get published.
Yes.
But you are much more likely to get it from a hospital, a restaurant, even your own home, for gosh sakes. But it's like 0.18% or something like that from a cruise ship. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. But Star Princess has had their first bout with the gastrointestinal disease norovirus.
Well, that didn't take long.
It did not.
No.
So, before I read the next story, which is the next big headline news, Mama Tallman says higher wages, then we would have to pay gratuities. Yeah, I'm sure we'd still have to pay gratuities, right? Remember, the gratuities are too. Well, maybe not, but they're not going to stop that, right? It's like anything else. First of all, like for instance, we talk about prices and certain things in not just the cruise industry, but in the world. When a price happens to go up for a reason, it rarely goes down. It always stays high.
Yeah.
So gratuities, you're not going to stop paying gratuities. They're going to still charge you gratuities. I mean, think about it. Like a cruise line buys a case of alcohol, whatever the case of alcohol costs.
Okay.
Okay. They bring it on the ship. Okay. They charge you tax and gratuities, 20% on most cruise lines now.
Yes.
For each cocktail you drink.
Yes, they do.
Okay. Do they need to? No. They do it because they can, and they're going to get the money. Okay. So they're already getting gratuities, which in a lot of cases, it has been widely reported that gratuities offset what they pay their employees. They
That's
don't
true.
get it as an additional benefit.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been there's actually been documentation for one cruise line out there that shows this. Not all cruise lines, but there's been one, literally, they posted their pay stubs. It was not doctored, it was legitimate, and it what they get from the cruise line is a guarantee
that they're going to make a certain amount.
But the gratuities offset that. So again,
Yes.
let's just say they're guaranteeing them $1,500 a month, and they got $1,400 in commissions. That means they would just make $1,500.
And tips.
No. Okay. Try not to confuse anybody here.
Well, you said commissions.
Did I say commissions?
You said commissions.
Okay. But it doesn't matter. Tips, commissions, whatever. Thank you. Again, let's say the cruise line is guaranteeing them a salary
Yes.
of $1,500 a month.
Yes.
And during that 1 month, they received $1,400
$1,400.
in extra tips
Yes.
that went through the system, automatic tips. Well, that means they would just get their guarantee of $1,500, not $1,500 plus the $1,400. That $1,500 is a draw against the tips.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on the flip side, if they happen to get $1,700 in tips,
Mm-hmm.
that would mean that the cruise line would give them another $200
Yes. Above their guarantee.
above their guarantee.
Yes.
Again, this was actual, I mean, black and white, right? This one wasn't made up. And it's been widely reported that this is how all the cruise lines operate, though many have sworn up and down it is not. But typically one cruise line doesn't stand out from the rest when it comes to how payroll and things like that happen.
Yeah. Not typically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not typically. Anyway. But yeah, so let's couple more comments. Why stop at the cruise industry? There are cardio and tanker ships too, right? Exactly. Carrier cargoes.
Yes.
Right?
Very true.
Mama told me said would not have to pay gratuities. I don't know. I don't know.
That we're just going to have to keep our eyes on that one and just watch it and see what happens, because there's going to be legal teams getting this one, and
Yeah.
and yeah, it's it's who has the better lawyer, I think.
The Star Wars dad says, by the way, he says, you're more likely to see a brawl happen on a ship than get sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is very
Yeah.
true.
You really?
Yeah, that is very true.
Catatonic. Yeah, nice to see you. You're also new. Welcome to the channel.
Hey, welcome.
Good to see you here. Or if you've been here before and you haven't commented, thank you for commenting.
Yes.
Okay. The next bit of news, which I think is the next biggest news story this week, is the Disney Adventure has made it to its new home, which is over in the Asian market.
Yes.
And it has started to cruise there, and some pictures and news and things of the ship are coming out. And some of it is shocking. It's not what you might expect from a Disney experience. We have never been on a Disney cruise ship.
We have not.
Now, I worked at Disney for years. So I understand the Disney way, and I understand what they go behind to put their entertainment together, the food. I mean, the Disney ships are truly, they're not luxury, like in the word luxury cruise line, but it's a luxurious experience.
Oh, yeah.
The entertainment, the food presentation, the staff. I mean, it Disney through and through. And those who sail on it swear by it.
Yes, without a doubt.
Okay. So I'm going to show you a picture. Let's see here. Oh my God. Why me? Just why me? I don't know what I got to do to make these things work.
I don't know. I saw you load that up.
Yeah.
I saw you load that up before the show.
Here we go.
There it is.
Okay. This is a picture of an inside cabin. Obviously, it's not a real picture. It's just a diagram,
Yeah.
the map, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
of the Disney Adventure. Okay? And all the regular inside cabins, which there is many,
Mm-hmm.
look like this. Now, does anyone see anything missing here?
I think I do.
Anyone? What do you see missing? By the way, thank you for the thumbs up.
Thank you.
What do you see missing from this picture?
Well,
Come on, put it in the chat. We want to hear from you.
I think we're waiting on everybody to catch up here.
I know. There's
We're a little
always
bit
a catch
behind.
up. We're
There's
always
always
behind.
a little bit of a lag.
Obviously, everybody's going to see exactly what's missing from this picture.
I think the comments are going to start rolling
I
in
know.
very quickly.
Yeah, this is. I just, man, I read this story. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
I know, and when you pulled up the picture, I still couldn't believe it.
Danny's like, is that Disney at night? Yeah, exactly. Actually, Disney at night is amazing. When I was working there, my favorite thing to do at Disney was when I had some sort of midnight shift where I was inside the parks working to load in an event or whatever.
Disney is really cool
Because
at night.
the place is empty. All the guests are gone. All the lights are still on. All the music is still on.
Right.
It's I mean, the rides obviously aren't running, but just, I mean, it is such a magical time to be in that park when there's no one. It's somewhat eerie too, by the way. But yeah, that was my favorite time. Jan's like, where are you going to sleep?
Thank you, Jan.
Bev, not a king size bed, any bed.
Yeah.
So yeah, so all the inside cabins on the Disney Adventure do not have beds.
Isn't that weird?
They have 2 sofas that they convert to a bed. Now, what I don't know is if they can make the beds go together. This I don't know. Okay? Now, this was reported, by the way. We'll give them some credit. One of the theme park insiders, they have their own TikTok and stuff. Theme Park Express. Okay? And they were on this ship.
Park Express.
Yes, thank you. And the pictures you're about to see are from them. This is from Disney, but the next ones are from them. Now, essentially what they do, they take the bed and they put this tiny little pad on it. Okay? In fact, I can get rid of that now so you can see that a little better. Maybe? No? This one. Okay. So they just take the sofa, put that little pad that you see strapped on there, which is not very thick at all whatsoever, and then put your linens on top. Now, mind you, this has got to be done every single day.
Yeah.
So when you get up and leave your cabin steward has to come in, take all the stuff and get rid of it and turn it back into a sofa. But the other thing, you see how thin that sofa cushion is, it's very thin. And of course, it's been reported that it's also very, very hard,
Interesting.
right? So the next picture, they were actually on this with 4 people. Oh my God.
Where's the picture?
I don't know. They've turned the lights out on me.
I know. I saw you load all of that stuff up.
Cabin,
There
it
it
is.
is. Yeah.
that is what it looks like for 4 people.
That just blows me away.
Now I'm gonna go. I want to go back to the first picture for a minute, and again, it's gonna be black, but I'll fix it in just a second. Okay, so mind you, if you look up top, you have a separate area for the toilet with a little sink, which I love.
That's cool.
Then this other area with a separate door has your main sink in the shower. Okay, that's what's right above our head here. Okay, below us, that is your closet area right there. Right next to that, I believe, is, like a little, probably drawers, and then maybe a mini fridge, but I think the mini fridge is that third little thing over there. Right at the end of that, you see one sofa. On the other side of the shower, you see the other sofa. Okay, so when we go back to this, oh God, it's just so frustrating. Oh, sometimes I just want to shoot myself, guys. You just have no freaking idea. Okay, that's just. I'm just beside myself.
There we go.
Sorry, everybody. So the sofas, I mean, that is, you have that little tiny hallway.
That's it.
That's it.
That's crazy.
But I mean, this is tiny by cruise ship standards.
It is, yeah.
Now factor into that this is on a Disney ship.
Mm-hmm.
What were they thinking?
It literally blows me away that they make that for 4 passengers.
Yes.
That is what blows me away. And
And Disney's not cheap.
No, they're not. No.
Crazy.
I mean, typically, in a standard cabin, you're going to have your twins that you can make into a king, and you'll have your 2 beds that pull down and no sofa. But yeah, this is just so tiny.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Let me see if it'll allow me to do this one more time. Probably not. All right. Again, there
it is.
there's the layout of the cabin.
Yeah.
Now, normally, if you think of a normal inside cabin, the bed is down there towards the end. It is a bed. It is 2 twins.
Yes.
But it is a bed with a mattress.
Yes.
Okay. And then there's some space for you to move around to do things.
Yes.
And then there's the hallway that leads to typically your closets, your bathroom, and coming in and out.
Right.
Okay. So this gets rid of the movability space.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because of how the bathroom is configured, so these cabins are skinnier and longer. But I don't know who came up with this design, but they should be shot.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, the average cost of a cruise on this ship for a 3-day cruise is $700 per person.
Wow.
That, even for just a couple, is tiny.
It is very tiny.
Especially once you put the bed out
Yeah.
at night. Right? Man. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was shocked when I saw this.
Right. The actual picture is what really sets it in. I mean, we've, gone into cabins before, other interior cabins, and taken pictures of quads, different ships, and we've got those posted on our page, but man, that is just tiny.
Yeah.
That is just tiny.
Thank you again, Theme Park Express.
Yes, thank you.
Alex says, I'll sleep outside. Yeah, right?
You might have to.
Right? I would do the
Yeah,
same thing. Let
you
me
might
move
have
this
to.
back up here.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
John's like, the magic of Disney. I know, right? Star Wars dad says, reminds me of the failed Disney Star Wars hotel, right?
Yeah,
Right?
maybe.
What if you want to have a nap during the day? You don't even have a blanket for the couch. No.
Thank you.
They may tuck it somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Which would probably have to be the closet. But yeah, exactly.
That was what I was thinking too. I mean, the two of us, we love our afternoon naps, but yeah, what do you do? You call your cabin steward and then, oh my gosh, that's just crazy.
Jen says, looks like a fire hazard or a trip hazard to me. So close together. Now, I'm going to put an asterisk in here. Okay? And I'm sure I'm correct in this. This ship, when Disney bought it, was actually already 3/4 constructed.
Was it? Okay, I remember hearing that they were going to purchase one that was already
So
under construction.
I'm going to make a guess
That this is the ship.
that this is what they inherited.
Okay, I totally forgot about
Okay.
that, but I do remember hearing that.
But let's take this all the way through the process.
Okay.
They had this for a long, because they had to finish constructing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and other things. I'm sure many of you know this. I don't know, maybe you don't. But all cruise ship cabins are constructed as pods,
Yes, they are.
and they're made off the ship
yes.
in a separate location and trucked in one at a time. They put fully done.
Yeah.
The beds are in there, the electrical's in there, the lights in there, the bathrooms. Everything is literally in there.
It's plug and play.
They put it on this huge elevator. It goes up. They take it out, and it's just inches off the ground. And they take it with these big carts. They literally slide it into place, lower it down, bring the cart out, and literally plug the thing in.
They do.
She says plug and play.
Yeah.
So
Connect the water, connect the power, and you're done.
Now-
Seal it up and
during a construction phase, which this ship was under when they bought it, it is very simple. Obviously, a big financial thing to have to go back and redo all the cabins. But it wasn't like, again, we're going to talk about Margaritaville at Sea here in a minute, but Margaritaville at Sea, like the Beachcomber, that ship's completely done. They're just going to be converting it to the Margaritaville name. Okay? So they won't be able to pull cabins out and all that stuff. This ship was literally in dry dock, still under construction.
yes.
It wasn't completed. So they could have easily, I say easily, I don't mean like, done, let's fix it. But they could have pulled out the cabins and put in new ones that fit a Disney image. And what a passenger paying $700 per person for a 3-day cruise would come to expect from that brand.
Right.
I think that's a
Man.
shame. I think it's a shame. Star Wars dad says, and I bet the price is outrageous. It is. It's approximately $700 for a 3-day cruise.
Yeah, Disney's never been cheap.
Those couches aren't pull-outs. Nope, they're not. They're not. I mean, if you go back to,
I believe they're called jackknife sofas.
I don't.
Is that what they're using? or
I
is
don't
it
think so.
something-
I think
No?
it just slides.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah. Let me move us down out of the way again. So if you see, you can still see the back of the sofa
Yeah.
over on the right-hand side there. The sleeping part is literally just the bottom. And they may have slid it out a little bit, so you have a little bit more space,
Right.
but it's not a jackknife. In fact, I don't think I can go to this one. Is it going to work? No, it's not going to work. I'm trying to see if that the one of just the mattress pad. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it either. Anyway, I'm tired of flipping that around, guys. Trying to make it work for you. But yeah, I think so it's not a jackknife. The bottom part is separate from the top part. I think the top part's probably bolted to the wall, and the bottom part sort of slides in and out. Right. So
Gotcha.
during the day they push it back a little bit, so you have a little bit more walk room. Because if we go back to, yeah.
You were not going back. Who are
No.
you kidding?
It's pissing me off is what it is. That's what it's doing. You see how there's a lot more walk room with it pushed back in there.
Yeah, it
Right.
does seem that way. Yeah.
So anyway,
Very interesting.
Alex says, keep in mind that Disney purchased this cruise ship from someone. Yeah, exactly. We were just talking about that.
Yes.
Yep. Of course,
Yes.
I gotta move us up here again. There we go. Sorry. Yes, they did. Chris says, underwhelming is what I'm thinking. Yeah, underwhelming and overpriced.
Yeah, my goodness.
Cynthia Meme from Brooklyn. There's another new person to the channel. Thank you you so much for joining us.
Welcome. Yes,
You get
thank
applause.
you.
And by the way, do us all a
Yay.
huge favor, everybody. If you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to the channel. We do come live to you every week and do a live broadcast for the news. When we're on cruise ships, we do broadcast live every night from when we're on ships. We have some very detailed ship reviews. We're all fun thing cruising. Consider sticking around. We'd love to have you. And if you like watching somebody fumble around when their tech fails, boy, have you found the right place.
Without a doubt. It wouldn't be a Tall Man show if we didn't have some kind of tech issue.
But Cynthia Mean Brooklyn says this room looks like you're in some type of prison. Yeah, that last picture. Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, man.
Chris says all the Disney fans that have always complained about Royal Oasis class ship looking like a mall, well, now the adventure is the Mall of America at sea. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think you're right.
You would have thought the first company would think, hey, we need beds. Well, there's a reason why they didn't finish building it. They obviously don't know what's going on, so they're out of business. So whatever.
My goodness.
All right, we have a couple more news stories. Please continue to leave your comments. We're going to read them, but we're going to get to some more of the news here and then come back. We're going to get back to Carnival. Carnival has canceled an entire month of cruises on a Carnival Frenzy with
What?
with no explanation.
Really?
Yeah, from October 12th through November 16th, the Carnival Frenzy, is no longer going to be cruising.
Really?
Yeah, and again, like I said, there's no reason why that has transpired. They've given no, just that the change of itinerary. But there's no change of itinerary. There is no itinerary.
Interesting.
The cruises have canceled. Out in California is doing basically 3 and 4 night cruises, either going to Baja or Baja and Catalina Island. Brain lips work together, please. But yeah, they've canceled. So if you were on that ship October 12th, any of the cruises between the 12th and the 16th,
Wow.
they have been canceled. All right.
Interesting. I love the frenzy.
Yeah, we did too. Or I did too.
Yeah.
We did. She already said that. So the UK agency has released a report a couple days ago about an incident that happened on the Spirit of Discovery back in 2023. I'm sure a lot of you probably don't remember the story back then, but the Spirit of Discovery is a smaller ship. It's like 58,000 tons. It is owned by Saga Cruises. At that time, it was over in Europe doing a cruise to the Canary Islands out of Portsmouth, England. And it sailed on October 24th. Unfortunately, there was some bad weather coming in. They made some adjustments, but in the end, some of the adjustments they made had to be canceled because the ports closed because of bad weather.
Oh, my.
But instead of sailing around and out of it, they decided to sail into the bad weather. Subsequently, they lost propulsion because of this.
Oh, no.
And during that, when you lose propulsion on a ship, you can't steer, you can't do anything, and you're at the mercy of the waves.
And in a storm, that is the last thing you want to have happen.
Waves were 10 meters or 32 feet.
Oh, my goodness.
And so the ship had a big list at some point, injuring a lot of people. A lot of people, like 100 plus people.
Yeah.
One of them fairly severely, who, as the result of his injuries, a few days later, once off the ship, passed away from his injuries.
Oh, no.
It was an 85-year-old man. He was sitting on a tall chair. Chair fell backwards when the ship listed, and he hit his neck. They took some x-rays when they were on the ship, sent him shoreside for evaluation, but the x-rays were inconclusive. They needed more, but they didn't do more. Anyway, the report from this was finally just issued, and the cruise line's to blame, 100%. They didn't have enough staff in the medical facility, not enough trained staff for medical emergency. The decision making of the cruise, of going into this, it is a blatantly, I mean, the cruise line's 100% at fault.
Oh, no.
What I find most interesting about this report is that, let's see if I can read it word for word, because this is unbelievable the way that it is worded. The report really, this is a dream for an attorney, because it's blatantly pointing the finger right at the cruise line. However, It also specifies this report that it can't be used in any kind of litigation.
What?
Yeah. So I think, I don't know how that would work here in the U.S., but again, we're talking about the U.K. Their laws are obviously different, but the findings of the report, which place the blame for the things that happened on this ship during that time, are squarely on the cruise line and the crew of the ship.
Oh my goodness.
And the fact that these people who had been injured in it, from broken ribs, broken arms.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it wasn't just some cuts and bruises. It was a lot.
Wow.
And so, of course, the medical staff with all of this would have been overwhelmed. I don't know how you could prepare for something this large, but they do train for these things.
Right.
But in the end, this poor gentleman, he was 85 years old, by the way.
Oh my goodness.
He had passed away. But
So sorry to hear
that
it.
report came out, and yeah, the fact that you can't even use it in litigation, why even post a report?
Yeah.
Anyway,
We've seen that ship in ports before.
yes, we have actually. So, Royal Caribbean. Let's talk about Royal Caribbean for a
Okay.
minute, since I know Chris is on here. He's a big Royal Caribbean fan.
Yeah.
The Legend of the Seas has announced part of their entertainment lineup is going to involve America's Got Talent.
Yay!
Now, that doesn't mean, shipboard talent, right? I mean, the guests aren't going to come on board and that are on there and put on a show. They're in the news or the press release is a little bit sketchy about exactly how it's going to happen. But from reading through the words, if you will, what I'm assuming is, because America's Got Talent is a global brand.
Yes.
It's not just in America. I mean, all the countries have a version of America's Got
Yes.
Talent. And so they're going to bring on board, I believe, people that have been on America's Got Talent.
Yes, that's what I had
right?
read. Yeah.
From, magicians and musicians and singers and all different things.
Yes.
And what's neat is it's going to change constantly.
Yes.
So it's not going to be the same show.
Yes.
I don't know if it'll be the same every cruise, or it'll be different every couple of cruises or whatever. But it's going to be this sort of revolving door of entertainment of bringing them on and off.
I think that's an incredible concept. Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
It's kind of like specialty entertainers, but all packed into one show.
Yeah.
With some sort of structure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
I love this idea.
Whether or not you're going to be able to vote, that is unknown. It's just, again, a lot of things. But they did announce their partnership with America's Got Talent, and so they're going to have America's Got Talent live on the new Legend of the Seas.
Love that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Margaritaville at Sea, just a few days ago, announced on the Beachcomber. Speaking of the Beachcomber, we were talking about that a little bit earlier, I think, or at least Margaritaville at Sea. They announced they're creating a couple new suites on this particular ship that are not on their other two ships. It's going to be bridge wing suites.
Yes.
So these will be suites that are on top of where the bridge is. Not a lot of details. There's a couple pictures, but not really good about the inside, how big it's
No.
going to be. None of these things. But you are going to have a priority, a concierge dedicated to your cabin.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be kind of like an MSC yacht club type experience, if you will, or like a Haven or a Royal Genie. I think it's going to be that kind of experience.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
You'll be able to get breakfast and dinner served al fresco, because you're going to have a very large balcony.
Right.
You're going to be able to have a private tour of the bridge.
Nice.
So there's some extra benefits coming that, obviously getting on and off early. All these are part of it. But from a space standpoint, what it's going to look like inside, that has not been put forward yet. But I think it's pretty cool that they're upping their game a little bit too with this new ship. And I think
love that.
as they continue to evolve, because Margaritaville at Sea, they're the youngest cruise line out there, at least serving the United States market.
Yeah.
They've got the two ships. They've got the Islander, which we've been on, which we absolutely loved. They've also got the Paradise, which has recently come out of dry dock and been completely refurbished. We're looking forward to going on her soon. We don't have it booked yet, but we're looking forward to going on her soon. And then, of course, once the Beachcomber comes out, we're looking forward to taking that cruise as well, of course.
Yes.
So it is the Costa Fortuna, by the way.
It is. Okay.
I was thinking, we were trying to think about that
I couldn't remember
earlier.
which Costa ship it
Yeah.
was earlier. Yeah.
So, everybody, that is it for the cruise news this week. So, for those who are watching the podcast or listening to the podcast, thank you for listening. We'll see you on the next one. Ciao. Okay. All right, everybody. So that was it for the news. It's going to be snack time here in just a minute. So if you're new around here, when we do our live broadcast on the weekends, on Sundays, we do record for our podcast live. And that's what we just finished. And so we're going to take that section and we're going to turn it into a video podcast as well as a regular podcast that goes up on Spotify and Apple and all the other podcast places. Our content of what we do, you can literally find it everywhere. I know I've got a couple icons up there, but Facebook, X, TikTok, Instagram, here on another channel called Rumble, and we have some other big news. Starting tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are having our content debuted on a brand new it's not brand new for us. I just put it in the chat. There is the URL for it. Devo VR. Again, DEO VR. For those who have been around our channel for a while, we started this past year videoing the cruise ships in 360.
Yes.
Using our 360 camera. So when we're doing our tours, again, if you've not been with our channel, our tours are very unique. We walk every single deck one at a time, from one side up down the other 360 degrees. Not the 360 degree camera, but we literally walk the full deck. It's not highlights. And we do it in real time.
Yes.
So that you can see every ounce of the space, learn the areas, feel the spatial alignment of everything.
Yes.
But we started doing that in 360.
We did.
Which is essentially virtual reality.
Which is really cool because you can turn the camera and see what you want to see.
Correct.
If we're not facing that, you can still see what you want to see.
So like right now, when we're done with this broadcast, if you're new to the channel, you can go to our regular YouTube channel and the videos are there, but they operate a little bit differently. When you watch the 360 on YouTube, there'll be an arrow right where our logo is up there. And if it's on computer that you're watching, you can take the arrow and you can actually turn it it would sort of look like this, right? I mean, that's what you can actually do when we're walking through a deck. You can change the view that you're seeing. You can stop it and completely turn the camera around and look at my face holding the camera if you want, because it's 360 degrees. Anyway, we received an invite to start putting our 360 content up on this dovr.com channel. So one, we ask you all a favor. Click on that link and go over there and subscribe. It is exactly like YouTube when it comes to content, except it's all VR. Now, you can watch it just like you do on virtual reality, but if you've got the VR headsets,
yes,
you can watch it there.
Yes.
So, not just that, but we will be the only active cruise channel on DOVR bringing 360-degree content.
Yes.
There are a few channels that were there from a few years back, but they put out like 2 videos and stopped. There are a few other channels that are not cruise specific that have put up one video on this channel, 1 video on that channel. I think that's all I found was like 5 total cruise ships on their entire platform. So we are literally going to be featured as the only cruise channel there. So you guys go there, click on that link. I put it in the chat. dovr.com. Even if you don't have the headsets, you can still watch them there, and help support that channel for us over there. We would sincerely appreciate it. So there's some big news for you guys. Okay, let's get back to some of the other comments here. John says, looking for the magic carpet. I know, right? Chris's question, are you going to be able to do any of the sailing when it arrives in Fort Lauderdale? There is a 3-day in November. Hard to say. And I'm not sure which ship you're talking about because we've already gone past all of that. We will be on our group cruise, our event cruise, November 8th, right? So more than likely, probably not Chris. Chris, event cruise. November 8th.
Come join us.
Come join us. We'll play, for those who haven't seen, we'll play the promo for you guys to see what we're doing. We're doing a big group cruise. It's really an event cruise.
It is.
Right? Obviously, cruise lines call them group cruises, but it is an event cruise. We actually put on a show for you guys. We do lots of different events for you. We give away prizes, cash, just all kinds of things. So you guys want to come and join us. Anyway, Star Wars Dad says, we did a specific NCL cruise on the Breakaway because Little Big Town was booked for a concert. Yeah, they have specialty cruises like that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Robert, I'm trying Princess again 25 years later. Nice.
All right.
I hope it's a good cruise. Have you sailed on Princess recently? No, only the Emerald Princess.
That's the only one we've been on recently, yeah.
We were supposed to go on the Star when it for its inaugural, but we had to cancel. We've had some sort of, catastrophes behind the scenes in our personal life, and the whole end of 2025 and through now, our lives have really gone 180 degrees, not 360.
We're waiting for that rest of the 180 to get back where we were.
Oh, he's talking about Legends of the Seas. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't know. As of now, the answer would be no. I don't know exactly when it's coming up, but as I mentioned, we're on our event cruise on the 8th. It's a 7-day cruise. And it's going to take us a couple of days to get back from Galveston back to Florida. So unless it's very, very late November, the answer is no. We're not going to be there as much as we would love to. And we thought about this. Yes, it's going to be cool. There's new entertainment, this, that, or whatever. But, we've done the Star of the Seas, which is an Icon class ship. We didn't do the Icon, but we did the Star of the Seas.
Mm-hmm.
The Legends of the Seas, again, different entertainment, a little bit different look on that, but it's still an Icon class ship.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not as in big of a hurry to get on there as we would a ship that's coming out that's sort of in a brand new class, if you would. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, we'll eventually get on it. So
yeah.
I'm going to reach over.
Yeah, we love the Icon class.
It's going to be snack time here in just a second, everybody. Get your snacks ready. Again, if you're new around here, we do snack time. Lisa's been busy. So we have, for snack time,
Air fryer brownies.
homemade brownies. All right. Everybody grab your snacks. We'll play a little music for you.
So here we go again, it's no surprise. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. So take this love and try to make it new. You can't fight it when it feels so true. You drive me crazy like no one else. The final moment before I lose myself. And it's no use working 9 to 5 if you want more than to stay alive. So come on over, we can make it through. Take my hand, I know just what to do. On the beat, keep dancing through the night. Stay up until the morning light, the morning light. Oh, so come on over, we can make it through. Take my hand, I know just what to do. On the beat, keep dancing through the night. Stay up until the morning light, the morning light. Oh, the morning light. Oh.
That is the unofficial song of Tall Man's Cruise Adventures, The Morning Light. What did you have for your snack tonight? Leave it in the chat. We want to know.
I think I have brownies in my teeth.
No, you're all right. So, event cruise.
Yes.
Of course, everybody left during snack time.
Oh, no.
Did you not all have snacks?
Oh,
Bring
my
snacks
goodness.
with you? It's all right. We have an event cruise coming up.
We do.
Here's a little info.
Here's what people have to say about the 2025 event cruise.
Over the top.
Fantastic.
Fun.
One of a kind.
Exciting.
A must try.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Breakthrough.
Don't miss out on all the fun on the 2026 event cruise. You're not going to want to miss it. Join us.
All right, if that email went too fast for you, there it is again. All right, so a couple things here. One, we are not travel agents, so we don't put this event cruise together to make money off you guys. We just want to hang out with the Tall Man Clan and have a good time. For those who you saw interviewed during last year's event cruise, those are at least one word, if you will, of what that experience was for them. A lot of them are here in chat right now, and will tell you if you have any questions, ask in the chat. They will gladly answer, so you don't think it's just us. But it is it was a fantastic experience. As I said, we put on lots of things for you guys to do, different shows. We actually have our own version of Family Feud. We call it Tall Man Feud. We did that, and just all kinds of fun things. Cash and prizes and all kinds of stuff. So consider joining us. Since we are not travel agents, we have an agent that put it together for us. All right, so email me, tallmanscruiseadventures@gmail.com. I will forward you Kathy's information. We've been working with the agency that Kathy's been with for 20 plus years. Chris is the owner, is a good friend of mine, and they've been handling all of our arrangements for cruises for
Many years.
yes. Everything we do, it just goes through them. They're very good. Okay. Anybody else that's dealt with them, they'll tell you. Okay. And we'll glad. I don't know how many cabins are left. Pricing, if you want to know what the pricing is, I'm not sure how far back, but we have a Facebook group. It is private. We posted the pricing up there in the Facebook group. So please consider becoming part of our Facebook group. Again, I said it's private, so it's going to ask you 2 questions. First question is, what was the first cruise ship you were ever on? If you haven't cruised yet, tonight's word, popcorn. No.
Chaos.
No. Nerf and nachos.
Oh, Nerf and nachos.
Nerf
I
and
like
nachos.
It.
That's the
Yeah,
word for tonight.
That's it.
Nerf and nachos. Okay. That's a funny backstory. And those watching, and anyway, Nerf and nachos. The other question is just adhering to the group rules and policies, which essentially no spamming and be nice. Okay. So go to the Facebook group. The pricing for all the cabins are there. Honestly, I don't know what's left. I haven't talked to Kathy in a few weeks. So she'll let you know what's still available.
But
Okay.
you do have to book into the group.
Yes.
Otherwise, we will not have space to have a show.
Yeah.
So please book into the group.
The further description of that is group events won't give us the space.
Yes.
The group space, if you will, like a space on the ship, like a corporate room to set up in to do what we did. If you notice in that video, the lights in the backdrop, we brought all that on the ship with us.
Yeah.
That wasn't there. We literally brought, $20,000 worth of production equipment onto the ship with us. Okay. Anyway, but we need a space to
put
set
it
that
in.
all up.
Yeah.
And so they give you space based upon the amount of cabins that are part of the group.
Yes.
So because of which, if you want to go, you need to book into the group.
Yes,
So
please.
send us an email. Okay. That being said, if you haven't done so already, let's finish all of this. Please hit that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to the channel. It really does help the channel, guys. It really does. You hear YouTubers talk about it all the time. We talk about it for a reason. It's what helps drive the YouTube algorithm to show our videos to others who are not part of the channel. So please do that. We would appreciate that. Also, special thanks to all of our Patreon members out there. God bless each and every one of you. We actually got to spend some time with you tonight before this main broadcast and say hello. Again, we do love each and every one of you. If you want to become a Patreon member, it's as little as $5, guys, right? It's like a cup of coffee at Starbucks, for God's sakes. Okay? Patreon.com. Tall Man Clan, and we haven't posted in a while. We apologize, but we do post separate content up there that is not available to anybody else outside of Patreon members. And those who are Patreon members, they will tell you. Plus, if you're a Patreon member and you go on the event cruise, we have a special dinner with just you guys.
We do.
Right? So you get more access to us, if you will. Okay? So there you go. All right.
Thank you.
Back to comments. Patricia says, I decided on cheddar popcorn. I will talk. Oh,
Oh,
thank you. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
It's good. Thank you, Patricia.
That's very good.
Jen had leftover nachos. Did you have the Nerf to go with it? Carol had some cookies. Chris says, it makes sense. I'm excited about Legend. I'm excited about Princess. Legend is supposed to be really tweaked from the others. A Royal Railway and Willy Wonka, I mean. What else do you need? Right? Look, we love the Star of the Seas.
Yeah,
We
do.
surprisingly, right? So,
You know, we are not big fans of the mega ships, but we
Hey,
do like
Valerie.
the Star.
Aren't-
Yeah.
aren't you on
in the Haven?
Aren't you in the Haven right now?
Yeah. Hey.
What are you doing here? Danny's like 2 words, Robert. Super glue. He's talking about this. No, I got a zip tie on there, and we bought the zip ties like 3 years ago or whatever.
We
and
misplaced
still,
them. I have no idea where they are.
no idea where they are. There's our room. Breakthrough. Chris says, I love the itinerary on the Legend as it goes to Aruba. I know, right?
Oh,
we love
yeah.
Aruba.
We do.
Yeah, we'll get on it without a doubt at some point. It just is a matter of timing, right? So,
Yeah.
a lot of work you're doing for group cruise, event cruise. Maybe they'll let you use the conference room or something. Well, again, it's based upon the amount of cabins that are part of the group, right? And so that's why we always invite you guys to join us. Those who are with us all the time, of course, and those who are just joining us for the first time. Please consider coming on the event cruise with us. You'll have a fantastic time.
Oh, yeah.
Again, Danny and his wife were there, and Valor, Bev, and geez, who else is it? Macrina, Patricia.
Macrina,
You guys
yeah.
were all there. Yeah, come and join us.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Yep, on the Haven and loving it.
Nice.
On the NCL Encore. Yeah, when we're done, when you get off the ship, we'll have to have you back on the show live, and so you can
Compare the
compare
Haven and the Yacht Club.
the Yacht Club, and tell us your experience of the
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
Because we've heard a lot from people who are on or in the Yacht Club when we've been in the Yacht Club, and a lot of them used to all be very, very loyal NCL Haven people. That's all they
Yes.
did was NCL Haven, and they decided to try the Yacht Club and have never gone back to the Haven.
Right. Which we've never been on the Haven,
No,
so we
don't have experience.
Yeah, so we'd love to have your
But
experience.
their experience was that less expensive on MSC and better,
And better
experience.
experience
That
on
was their
MSC.
explanation to us.
Yeah.
We don't know. So
Yeah,
anyway.
we'd love to hear your experience.
Bev says Mexican street corn Pringles. Okay.
Yum.
Excellent. Yes. So,
Yeah.
all right. So, upcoming this week, we've got some weather coming through. So, hopefully, everybody will be safe over the next couple days.
Yes.
We're currently in Tennessee, and we're going to be freezing and getting a little bit of snow. Obviously, I don't think it'll stick because during the day it's going to get up to 40
yeah,
something.
it's,
But
it's not going to
40
stick.
degrees.
But yeah, we should
But
be
we see
definitely seeing some flurries.
some snow falling because it's going to be below freezing for a couple of days.
We're going to have a couple of days in the 20s.
Yeah, a couple of days without water.
Yes. Yeah, our RV is definitely not a four-season RV and not cold weather friendly. So
No.
we have to disconnect our water hose so we don't have ice.
Bust out our pipes.
Bust out our pipes. Yes.
Yeah, so this will be a new experience for us.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to do that in Florida, before we moved up here, just because we had some cold weather there, but it was just at night.
Yes.
This is going to extend almost all day.
Yes.
I think one day it's only going to get up to 37 or 38 or something like that. And oddly enough, the utilities are sort of in the shade a lot. So we're actually decided just for precaution, so we can hopefully get a little water during the day. We're actually going to bring the hose inside the house.
Yes.
We're going to
inside the
disconnect.
RV.
We have a bin. We're going to put it in the bin so we don't get water inside.
So the hose doesn't freeze.
Right, so it won't freeze. So during the day, once it gets above freezing, we can reconnect the RV so we can have some water.
Yeah.
Because without water, obviously, we can't flush toilets.
We
We
can't,
can't wash dishes. We can't do any of that stuff. So
Yeah. Well, we did save a couple of jugs, so I can wash dishes if I have to with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, much would prefer the hot water.
Chris's De Luna looks really nice. New ship. Yeah, we were scheduled to be on that one as well, but
We
we had
were.
to cancel that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to cancel
We
a
had
lot
to
of cruises.
cancel a lot. We did.
We had to cancel our May
Our May
once in a
Alaskan
lifetime Alaska
cruise.
14-day cruise.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Yep,
we had
sure
to,
did.
we had to do a lot of reevaluating.
You know, sometimes life gets in the way, you know?
Yes. So
You do what you got to do.
it did for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just kind of rock on, man.
Yeah.
Rock out with your out. That's what we do.
Yep.
At least me. Can't say much for this one. Anyway, so let's see. Yeah, one more time. We put up in the chat a few minutes ago a link to our brand new channel. We have been contacted by a YouTube type channel. It is called Deo VR. Okay, Deo, Deo VR. This is, I'm putting it up in chat right now. This is, again, like a YouTube type platform, but it features nothing but virtual reality type content. Whatever it is. And we've been asked if we would bring our virtual reality content to their platform. The last 4 or 5 ships that we've been on, that we were on in 2025, we actually started videoing with a 360 camera. And essentially 360 cameras virtual reality. And so we have started to move the content, posting it there as well.
Yes.
And we're not leaving YouTube. Just we're now going to have that for our 360 stuff.
Yes.
Right? And maybe what we end up doing is just doing the 360 stuff there and just doing all flat on YouTube. I don't know. We'll figure that out.
That's a possibility.
Yeah,
Because
we'll
a
see.
lot of people don't understand the 360.
No.
Yeah.
On YouTube, it's interesting. If you're watching on your phone, because we had a couple comments, your camera sucks and I can't see anything. Well, if you're watching a 360, on your phone, first of all, it's better if you do it like this. But the minute you move your phone, it actually changes the camera angle.
It does.
Which
totally changes
I think is neat, but at the same time, it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Because you got to, steady. The minute you do this, the camera angle changes.
Yes.
So, but on a computer, you can either change it with your finger depending on the type of computer you have, but up where our logo is right there on YouTube, there'll be arrows, and you can actually use those arrows to change how the picture looks, how the angle of the camera, because it's shot in 360 degrees. So even if we're walking this way and you want to see something over there, you can pause the video and literally turn and you will see what's to our right. Mm-hmm. I don't even have to move the camera because the camera is catching all of it. So, but it's very cool. Now, we've had a lot of great comments too.
We have.
But for those who don't get 360 cameras and how to, manipulate the footage, if you will. Mm-hmm. And again, I understand the phone thing. So, because I've myself like, okay, it's cool, but it's a bit weird too. So with a phone, you can just, use your fingers to, zoom in and zoom out.
Yes.
Or if you're holding it steady, you can just do that to move it as well.
Yes.
But yeah, anyway. Alex says stay warm. Oh yeah, we've got heat in here, guys. It's not like we don't have heat. But from an insulation standpoint,
we're in a tin can.
Our RV is not made for cold weather.
It is not.
It's called a 3-season RV. Fall, spring, and summer, not winter. And so, yes, we have a heater. It will be warm enough in here, but we're going to blow through a ton of propane because without the extra insulation and not being a 4-season RV, it won't hold the heat as well either.
Exactly.
So it lets the heat in, it lets the cold in, but it doesn't keep the cold or the heat in. Yeah, anyway. And yes, Patricia, she's got her electric blanket and she's going to be using the heck out of it.
Oh, yeah. He does not want an electric blanket. I've offered him many times and he just, but I will definitely be snuggled up underneath it.
Yeah. Chris, I can't remember. I know we saw you on the last broadcast, so I'm not sure if we said anything then, but, we hide very little in our life from any of you guys. But what we used to do for a living went away. The company folded, gone, left us high and dry and holding the bag for a lot of money, actually. Mm-hmm. And we literally now just got new jobs about a month ago.
Yeah.
But started about 3 weeks-ish ago, something like that. And so chasing Diamond for Carnival,
Not
even a
happen.
question.
No.
Not gonna
definitely
happen.
Not going to happen.
Are we letting it go? Not by choice, because we'd love to be able to have that status, not just because of the status, but because of what we do for you guys. If we can't get on the ship early,
And put our things
we
in the
we
can't get the video
we can't get the
footage.
video footage,
Yeah.
right? So it's a matter of doing it for the channel, because the cruise lines, at least at the stage of our channel now, don't support us at all.
No.
We don't get invited to anything. Now John Heald got us on to do the naming ceremony
For the Firenze.
for the Firenze.
Yes, he did.
So we
Thank you,
that
John.
was that again. Yes, love you, John.
Yes.
But none of the cruise lines invite us to any of that stuff.
No.
Because we're not travel agents. We don't have any of those travel agent perks. Though, if we had the views that we get for our ships and stuff, we get far more views than most travel agents do on our videos. We're millions and millions of views now.
Yeah.
On our stuff. So, chasing Diamond isn't. It's just we don't have the money and we don't have the time
No.
because we're now working again.
Yeah.
So, it's very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Unfortunately, didn't know if you had any sailings booked. No, nothing.
No. We had to cancel everything.
Everything. We started having to canceling stuff late last year.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. The only reason that we went on the Divina and the Yacht Club was because it was already
booked and paid for.
So-
And of course, the Horizon because of the event cruise.
and the Horizon because the event cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, they were already booked and paid for. So, but we had to cancel. Geez, there was
A ton of
Yeah.
stuff that we had planned. Yeah.
Yep. So it was sad, but we got to roll with the punches, right? So,
And that's what we do.
and oddly enough, that's one of the reasons why we built the studio.
Yes. Yes.
Is we were planning to be
We were
there,
planning on being
right?
there, but
Made
now
this
we're
big
back on the road.
big announcement. We're moving out of at least for the broadcast, out of Tall Man Mobile forever.
Yeah, no.
And here we are
Now
now
we're
back
back.
on the road doing something else.
Yes.
Not nearly in the capacity of what we were doing before. The money isn't nearly as good as it before. And so, like I said, our lives have had to do 180.
Mhm.
And again, no puns intended. It's just, it is what it is. So we're just rocking it, My bad. Didn't know. No, it's all,
Not a
dude,
problem.
it's all good. It's just life, man. We treat our life just like I treat the technical glitches here. We just
It's
work
gonna
through it.
happen, Yeah.
We just work through it.
Yep.
It sucks, and we just work through it. And, we do what we have to do to survive, and that's that. We'll be back on a ship. Yes, we're going to go on several cruises this year, but it's going to be later on in the year, right? So we have to spend these next months getting entrenched in this new program and doing what we do and try to get rid of some of the stuff that has been accumulating, and then we can consider getting back on a ship.
Yes.
So, but yeah. But definitely, because really there's a season for what we do. And so we're still going to have several months off a year.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's going to be probably closer to what we had been doing when we first started our channel. We're going to, like when we first started our channel, we would cruise like nonstop for 2 months. And then we would work for 4 months. And then we would cruise nonstop for 2 months. And then we would work for 4 months. We're probably going to be back into something like that.
Very similar. Yeah.
So until we get going.
Yes.
But anyway, so that's that. Speaking of going,
Yeah.
it's time to get the heck up out of here.
Love you guys.
We have an early day tomorrow
We do.
and a lot of bad weather coming in, so we got to
Yeah.
start preparing.
Yes.
So y'all know the drill, right? We don't have to go home, but we do have to get the out of here. Peace. Love you. Mean it.
better than to roll the dice. So take this love and try to make it new. You can't fight it when it feels so